The long await is finally over for Russell Westbrook. He has agreed to sign a 1 year deal that is worth $3.6 million with the Sacramento Kings, according to NBA insider Chris Haynes. Well, this debunks what a lot of people were saying a week or two ago, that LeBron James had somehow magically blackballed Russell Westbrook from the league. I had mentioned in my previous video about the situation that I highly doubted that LeBron had blackballed him from the league. And what was really hurting Westbrook was his bad reputation prior to coming to the Nuggets, in which he's been deemed as a selfish player, a chucker, a guy who hogs the ball, and not a team first player. That was really what had harmed him reputation wise, and had turned off a lot of teams. And I thought that was what was hurting him in this free agent market, even with him being a good teammate last year in Denver and playing great with Jokic, that I felt teams were probably skeptical that was just a 1 year deal type of thing, and that was not who he is now, that he was still the same old Russell Westbrook. But he was able to get an NBA team to sign him, which shows that he still has some value left in this league. And I do believe he still has a lot left in the tank to be a good six man, I would say, or maybe a starter, especially on a bad team. He can still have a role on a bad team. And I would say the Kings are not what I would consider a good team. Granted, they didn't do that poorly last year. They had only 40 wins, which is basically like close to a 500 team. However, that'll be really hard to get into playoffs in the West, simply because the West is like hyper competitive. But maybe they can fluke their way into the playoffs. I look at Russell Westbrook's stats from last year. They were solid: 13.3 points per game. He averaged 6.1 assists and 1.4 steals, 4.9 rebounds on about 45% overall from the field, 32 from three. So he's still a very solid player, a guy who can really be a great contributor to a team. I look at the Kings roster, and there's not many guards he's really going to be competing with for minutes when it comes to playing the role of like a facilitator, a point guard type of role. Granted, I know in the NBA, there's not many true point guards anymore, but when you look at who he has to compete with, it's just Dennis Schroeder and Devin Carter. I think obviously Devin Carter, he's going to take away his minutes because Devin Carter is not really a productive player. And then you have Schroeder, where it's a toss-up. I think both of them are going to probably split minutes evenly. I see both playing somewhere around 25, 30 minutes a game and just subbing each other out. So yeah, he has the opportunity to put up good numbers in Sacramento. I think if anything, Westbrook has to continue to prove people wrong about his reputation, in which he did earn. He did earn that bad reputation throughout the years, that he is really a team guy. He proved it in Denver. He's going to have to prove it again in Sacramento, and then maybe after the season, he can put himself in a better situation, possibly playing for a championship level team. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how he does with DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, how these guys mesh together. But I'm not expecting great things from the Sacramento Kings. I think this is a team that's going to miss the playoffs again. I think that's very easy to call. And I also forgot Sabonis is on this team. So yeah, they could possibly get 40 wins again. Maybe they get a little bit higher, like 41, 42, but I think realistically, they're not going to do anything. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this.